Welcome back, Sugar Petals. I'm StrawMaryRose, and this is another episode of Scroll Too Far. Today, we're in for some absolutely unhinged Reddit stories all about work or anything workplace related. We'll probably see a lot of toxic and nightmare work situations in this episode, so let's start. Today, joining me in this wonderful space is the most adorable fellow pink coworker I could ever ask for in the VTuber space, the cat queen herself, Yenny. Hi, Yenny. Welcome.
Hello.
Well, how are
Hello,
you doing
everyone.
today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing good. I'm very excited and also nervous. We did talk about this a little bit, that this is the first ever recording that I'm doing for the Reddit stories. So I'm so happy that you're here to join me. Woo!
Yippee!
Well, we've got some wild work-related stories. I feel like these are the ones that kind of make you want to quit your job if you're in this situation. But are you ready? Are you ready for the stories for today?
Yes, I am ready.
But before we start, here's a quick disclaimer to everyone watching. So we're just two friends casually hanging out, sharing our own opinions and takes, and we're not claiming to be right about everything. So if you agree or disagree, feel free to leave a comment, and we're always open to healthy discussions and different perspectives. So keep it respectful, keep it real, and lastly, don't be a bitch. Just be nice. All right. So for today's episode, Yenny's going to be joining me with reading the stories. But I'll be starting first with a story coming from our AITAH, which is Am I the Asshole? First story.
First story.
Let's go. So AITAH, Am I the Asshole? For refusing to give up my vacation days so my coworker can go on her honeymoon.
Vacation days as in annual leaves?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. I don't really feel why is a person, why the OP be the asshole for give up her vacation days?
Yeah.
Because it sounds like they are making the sacrifice. But okay, we can continue.
All right, let's read this. All right, so it says, I work at a small company where vacation time is pretty limited, and we have to request it months in advance. I put in my request almost a year ago to a 2-week vacation during the holidays. My plan was to visit my family who live out of the country, something I only get to do once every few years. Recently, a coworker of mine who's getting married came up to me and asked if I'd be willing to give up my vacation days so she could go on her honeymoon. She apparently didn't realize how quickly the days would fill up and waited too long to request her time off. Now, the only way she can go is if someone cancels, and since I have one of the longest vacation blocks, she came to me first. I told her I was really sorry, but I can't give up my time. This trip means a lot to me, and it's the only time I can see my family this year. She wasn't happy and told me I was being selfish for not accommodating her once-in-a-lifetime event. Now, a few other coworkers are chiming in, suggesting I could be more flexible since I don't have special circumstances like a wedding. I feel bad, but I also planned this trip far in advance, and it's important to me. Am I the asshole for not giving up my vacation so she can go on her honeymoon?
Can I say something though?
Yeah, go. Feel free to do it.
I feel like you read it very, you did a great job at reading it. Because
I thought I was ready for tea.
I was skimming through the text and I was like, oh, damn, she read good.
Thank you. I was ready for tea.
Yay!
Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, what are your thoughts after just reading that? Ooh.
You want to hear my thoughts? I think the OP is not the asshole.
Yeah.
No.
I absolutely agree. It's actually shocking. I feel like people who are engaged and also getting married, that's a big thing. That's a big thing to have. Like, a lot of people plan that like years ahead, like like the wedding and the honeymoon. So it's like for her to not kind of like, I don't know, it's her responsibility and obligation to take care of those things. And now she's kind of like punishing her coworker for not, because she didn't get to do that. So I don't get why she got, like, I understand that she wasn't happy that he said no, or she said no. I don't know if OP is a girl or a guy. I couldn't tell from the story, but it's
Yeah.
like like what OP said. They said that they don't get to see their family like once every few years, and they plan in advance. That's like responsibility. If you want a vacation time, you gotta request it like um ahead of time. I don't know if it's the same thing with your workplace as well, but
Mhm.
where I work, it's like, oh, you need to be like a month, or like 3 weeks ahead of time when you're trying to like ask for a specific date. But is it kind of like the same system for you guys as well?
I think if it happens to be annual leave
Mm-hmm.
and if you have emergencies, like something related to your health
Mm-hmm.
or like a family member of you just, pass away, then you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to request it in advance.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going on a trip like a vacation,
Yeah.
it is highly suggested that you request it in advance
Mm-hmm.
because like in my workplace we have a lot of people, right? And we
Mm-hmm.
also have clients and we also have to like make sure the people that can go to work on that day,
Yeah.
you know,
Just
can do like if we can finish the work our clients give us.
yeah. Just
So
making
yeah,
sure.
it's yeah, just making sure.
Yeah, it's an interesting like situation. Like, oh, can you give up your vacation days for me? It's like I can't imagine myself doing that. It's like I did this to myself. If I was in the coworker's position, I should have done this a long time ago. Um
So I feel like because I feel like first of all, I feel like as you were saying, like the responsibilities
mhm.
fall on the person that makes the schedule and
Mhm.
vacation for themselves, right?
Yeah.
So if the girl she's planning on having a wedding and going on a honeymoon, she is her obligation. First
Mhm.
of all, it's her obligation to manage
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
herself. And second of all, it's not the other person's like obligation to give up something for you.
Exactly.
Basically, when you are in a workplace,
Yeah.
people people do stuff for their own benefit.
Yeah. It's true.
People just yeah, it's sad, but it's true. Like
It,
coworkers are not friends. We
yeah.
here for our own benefits.
Oh
So
yeah.
if you respect them, they will respect you. Like I feel like
Exactly.
if you ask them for a favor,
Mhm.
then you have to repay them somehow because they're not
Yeah.
your friend. They don't give us stuff for you for free.
Exactly. It's like you owe me for something. It's always like that.
Yeah. If
Oh.
they accept your favor because they're nice and you have to pay them back somehow. And if
Mhm.
they don't accept your favor, it's like it's all good because
Yeah.
this it's benefit, it's
Yeah.
mutual benefit, It
Mhm.
doesn't do any benefit to them. But why do they do that? It doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
It doesn't. To read some comments, the first one says, not the asshole. Apparently, her own honeymoon was not important enough to secure time off for it, which
Mhm.
is kind of like the thing. It's like, this is a huge event. I feel like a lot of, even including myself, I would be like, I need to plan this. I need to plan ahead of time, need to let
Mhm.
my work know that this is happening like a year ahead of time. Because it's not like a small event. It's like you're getting
Yeah.
married and this is
Yeah,
your
it's not like
honeymoon.
It's not like I just decide, oh, I'm just gonna get married tomorrow, and then go on vacation, like
Exactly.
go on their honeymoon the next day.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Another comment says, okay, wait, there's a lot of comments here. It was like they know OP was the one who planned ahead the longest. They don't want to be the ones to be put on the spot. Oh, like the coworkers. I meant the coworkers because
Mm-hmm.
from the story, their other coworkers are kind of like telling OP to like just give it up. It's not like you have something like special like to go to. Like it's not like a wedding. That's what the
I
coworkers are
feel like
saying.
that's so rude.
Yeah. It's like
I feel like that is so rude.
like I'm spending time with my family. It's like special circumstances like a wedding. Exactly. You had to.
It's special for me, you know.
Exactly. Another comment says, not the asshole. You are not being selfish. Her poor
Mm-hmm.
planning does not constitute an emergency for you. She should have planned better and put in for the time off as soon as she could. Now she's got to deal with the consequences of her procrastination. If she or your other coworkers keep giving you a bad time about this, take it to HR or your boss. It's not okay for them to be pressuring you and guilt tripping you about this. They're bullying you and creating
Exactly.
they're bullying you and creating a hostile work environment. Yeah, I don't get the you should just give it up. Like the other coworkers kind of like someone said this in the comments, but they're like I feel like they're pressuring OP because they don't want to give their time off to the coworker. So it's like OP is the easiest target to kind of like just give it up, you know? It's okay. So we don't have to like give our time off to her because everyone
How
touched.
about how about she requests it today and she can go for her honeymoon like next year. And
Yeah,
no one has to give up their time for her because the shit
exactly.
is exhausting.
It's really exhausting. That's
Yeah.
a crazy situation. Not the asshole. Absolutely not the
Not
asshole.
the
Yeah, not the
asshole.
asshole. OP, go on your vacation and have fun with your family. You deserve that. Everyone deserves vacation. Woo,
Yes.
that's insane.
Meow.
Okay, are we ready for our next story?
Yes.
Okay, I'm ready to listen whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'm gonna read the next story.
Mm-hmm.
The title is Am I the asshole for not telling my friend she might get fired?
Mm-hmm.
I work alongside another coworker, but due to the type of job we do, we
Mm-hmm.
needed another person to assist in our workload. So they put in my friend to be with us to assist us when we need help.
Mm-hmm.
We became friends at work. It's been a week that she's been helping us, and instead her being helpful is actually been the opposite.
Oh no.
My coworker told our boss that it seems it's not going to work out with my friend helping us. And honestly, I also agree. She's my friend, but she seems in such low spirits and sometimes just sits and doesn't do much. Apparently our boss said this is pretty my last straw.
I think
She
they wrote
has
that wrong.
been Okay, this is pretty the last straw.
Mm-hmm.
So she has been moved around to help the other workers,
Mm-hmm.
but they've all complained about her being lazy and having an attitude.
Uh,
If she doesn't make a change, they might let her go. I talked to her and told her that we all need to get our stuff together because our boss is watching us as a group. I don't know if I should just tell her that she might get fired if she doesn't get it together. And if I do tell her, I don't know how to tell her. I
mm-hmm.
just don't want her to get upset, feel anxious, and tell our boss that I mentioned it to her. I recently got promoted as well, so I don't want to mess this up.
Oof. They got
Wow.
wow. I'm reading the title again. Like,
hmm
what's your thoughts so far?
My thoughts on this one. You
Mm,
know, like I feel like I shouldn't. work with my friend in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's, you're close with someone. Let's say you're close with a friend and you guys work together and suddenly you
Mm-hmm.
guys are not close anymore.
That's true. It's a
It's
tricky
the
situation.
Yeah, the same thing happens. Like I feel like I've seen some of the closest friends, like they seem very close and then they move in to live together and then suddenly they're not close anymore.
Yeah.
It's like a taboo. I don't know
Yeah.
why. Sometimes
It
something
is.
about something about like you have a close friend, but just keep it as friends. Like don't make
Yeah.
the relationship into like roommates or coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
It's always the roommates or the coworker that destroy the friendship.
It it does. I see it a lot. But then you can't go back to how it used to be because you're put in like an extremely different like environment. Like, oh
Yeah.
dang, like now we have to see each other in this setup and I don't know how to feel about it. I feel like a lot of people have to deal with that. Um
Yeah.
I I'm I don't know. Right now at this very moment, I'm not sure if OP is the asshole for not telling the friend that she might get fired. But
Okay,
on
if you are the OP in the situation, what would you do?
I kind of okay. I kind of relate
Mm.
to OP here at the last part where she was like, if I do tell her, I don't know how to tell her. It's like obviously if you're friends with someone, you don't want them to get upset. But
Mhm.
if I'm OP, I would, if I'm really like, I
Uh-huh.
probably will tell a friend of mine that, hey, just a heads up. It's kind of like, this is what's happening. But also, like, I personally would tell my friend. It's also like the fact that there's, let me just look for the part where it's not my kind of like responsibility and obligation to kind of like almost like babysitting her. Was like
Mhm.
always kind of like having to like check up on her, like, are you doing your job, or is she like supposed to, like, is she doing what she's supposed to do, you know? It's like that's her responsibility because it's, we're in a workplace. That's why you said it's like a taboo, because it's like you're my friend, but it's like you have to do the job, you know? And it's
Exactly.
kind of like sad where the part where they were like, she was hired or she was put in this position to be able to help out like the team, but she's not, she she hasn't been helping out anyone. And it's tough because you're getting paid to do a work, you know? You're getting paid to do your job. And if she's not doing that, the friend will be put in a very tight, like, spot. Um,
Exactly. I feel
so,
like
mm-hmm,
okay, so I feel like if you're gonna work with your friend, you need to separate the what is it called? The professional life and the private life,
yes,
right?
yes,
Because as if you're being professional in a professional setting, you gotta do what you gotta do. Like
yeah,
if one of your like team member or like your coworker, your colleague, whatever,
mm-hmm,
if they're slacking off, then you are supposed to first one report them to HR.
mm-hmm,
I think first one no. First one is you maybe you remind them if they
yeah,
don't,
like a warning.
yeah, like a one if they're obliged and you report to HR and maybe do what you gotta do, right?
Yeah,
Because I feel like yeah, that's probably what I would do.
yeah.
Cause I don't feel like picking up the slack
Oh,
for
no.
one specific person all the time.
Mm-hmm,
Like I
mm-hmm.
have my life too, you know?
Yeah, I also have my
And
own workloads. Like, you don't have to, like,
exactly.
think about their stuff. It's like not, it's not your responsibility and your obligation. So
Mhm.
well, again, it's like if they do a great job at work, then you
Mhm.
can't also like, hey, that's my friend. Like, no, they did that to themselves. So it goes the same way if they don't do a good job. It's like they did that to themselves. Like everyone To each their own. In a workplace, in a workplace.
That's like in yeah, that's like what I would do in a professional setting, but
Mhm,
in a private setting, like it's because our relationship, we were friends before we were
mhm, mhm.
coworkers.
Yeah,
So it's a little bit tough here to
yeah.
telling your friend and keep it as friend after, like, after it's hard to put your friend, the
Yeah.
friendship relationship,
Mhm, mhm.
like above the coworker relationship. It's
Yeah.
very tough.
So
I don't
I'll
know.
read some comments to kind of like
Mhm.
just add on and kind of validate our thought. But the verdict is actually not the asshole. So OP is not the asshole. So everyone
Mhm.
agreed on that. The first comment says not the asshole. You already gave her a heads up when you told her the boss was watching you all as a group. The fact that she continued to not do much is all on her. You aren't responsible for improving her work performance. She is, which is honestly exactly what what you were saying. Like this is her responsibility, not OP's, and you don't have to. You're already doing your own job. You don't gotta take in more like
Mhm.
responsibility
Exactly.
when you're at work. Another comment says, not the asshole. You already talked to her. I think I missed that part where she already talked to. Maybe my brain did not like did not process that, but I guess OP did talk to her, and it didn't kind of like, her friend didn't change her work ethic. So that's really bad. If you already talked to your friend and they didn't do anything about it, then that's on them.
That's on
That's
them.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
100% on
totally
them.
on them.
Yeah. Um, someone replied to that comment where it's like that didn't affect her work ethics, and you were already a good friend to them. Someone replied to that saying, "And how many talks has she had over the years? You can't pep talk someone into giving a shit about their job if they don't."
Oh, wait, that's a good point too.
Not completely unrelated, but when friends kind of like ask for like a relationship advice, it was like, "Ah, I'm so tired of this guy." And then the friend was like, "Yeah, you deserve better." And then the next thing you know, they're back again. It was like, I could give you so many advice regarding this thing, and if you don't listen and if you don't want to like change, that's on you. Because like
Exactly.
at the end of the day, they'll make that decision. You can't make the decision for them. So that's a really good take. Honestly, yeah. I feel bad for OP. It's such a icky
Yeah,
situation.
she got put in this a very, awkward spot, I feel like.
Yeah. And they also got promoted recently. So it's like I can't like mess this up. I'm doing so well, and like I don't want, it's also like I don't know, like I wouldn't want my performance to be affected by a friend of mine who I already
But
told, like, "Hey, what's good? what's what's been happening with you?"
if it was me, I feel like I just need to do my job. Like you
Yeah.
just need to like do your job
Yeah.
and do it well,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. Like let the other person
Take care of
deal
themselves.
with the
Yeah.
friend. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because because if it's my friend, then I'll be put in the very tough spot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So maybe I just do my job and do it well, and then let the others take care of the friend.
Exactly.
And if she get fired,
Yeah.
then maybe I just tell her something like, maybe you're not, you know, you don't make the cut. Maybe
Yeah.
you don't
Maybe
make.
you're not fit
Maybe
for
you're.
this work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Maybe you should find something else that is like,
To work well for you. Works better
yeah,
for
well,
you. Yeah.
no.
I like that. I like that take. It's not
Mhm.
too crazy. It's not too. It's a very complicated situation though. Our verdict for OP, not the asshole.
Not the
Um.
asshole.
All right. So, Our next
Mm,
story. Are you ready for our third story?
yes.
Oh, God. All right. This is coming from the same subreddit, Am I the Asshole? So, am I the asshole for telling this college guy's mom? I'm sorry, I had to
Mom.
read that again. Like, mom. Am I the asshole for telling this college guy's mom, that her coming into this interview cost him the job?
Wow.
Huh?
That's a crazy title.
That's a crazy title. Do we have a initial verdict for now? For me, I'm gonna say not the asshole because that's a crazy title. I had to I, I had to read it twice. I'm like, huh? Your thoughts so far, Annie? Oh
I
God.
think like I my brain is like, what does the mom have anything to do with the cause? I mean, the interview, the what is, I don't know.
Exactly my brain right
Like,
now.
what the fuck?
Okay, let's dive deep into this one because we need context. Like the title alone
Yum
is
yum
making
yum.
my brain hurt. All right, starting. Oh God. All right. I am a hiring manager at a tech company and I was hiring for summer internships a little while ago. We had a guy about 19 years old applying for a summer internship between his freshman and sophomore years of college. It was a virtual interview over Zoom because of COVID. A minute or two in, when I was introducing myself, his mom came in and introduced herself and started talking about her son's work ethic. I thought it was a little strange. I said something polite about wanting to hear from him. She just didn't get the hint and kept coming into camera frame during the interview and interrupting her son to answer questions for him. I asked a few technical questions, which he seemed to answer well, and then cut the interview fairly short. I thought that was all over and done with until I got an email from a woman a month later asking about her son's application. She seemed offended that he hadn't gotten an acceptance or rejection. Wow. It
Wow.
bothered me. I felt bad for the kid, honestly. Way back when I was a teenager, my mom used to pull the same shit, but luckily she only did that when I was 15 and working for a day camp, not when I was an adult applying for engineering jobs. But I felt like this poor kid was getting his chances ruined because his mom wasn't giving him the chance to apply on his own. I sent an email back saying I was not at liberty to send information about an application to anybody but the applicant. I also asked HR to send an email to the kid saying sorry, but we were not making him an offer. It is something we usually do, but his rejection email must have slipped through the cracks with all the COVID craziness. Anyway, after we sent that, I got a phone call from his mom. She had a forwarded copy of the email and she was demanding answers. I said that I could not comment on the guy's performance in the interview to her as she was not the applicant. If he wanted to reach out to me, I was happy to give him some feedback. However, I could say that regardless of his performance, her presence in the interview took him out of consideration for the position. We were looking for an independent and self-driven person for the position, and for that reason, it is important to see an applicant speak for themselves, follow up themselves, etc. I also said that as a piece of advice, every hiring manager I've met in my career who sees someone other than the applicant answering questions during an interview, following up on the applicant's behalf, etc., would also put their resumes in the do not hire pile. Since, while the applicant may be skilled and motivated, they need the ability to demonstrate those traits themselves. She fucking blew up at me over that. She kind of cussing me out to the point where I hung up. Now, am I the asshole for how I handled this? Maybe I should have kept my mouth shut way earlier. Well,
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 well.
that's a crazy story. Wait, when I was in college, like I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs, people, or like maybe also like big corporate people just hiring interns. Like they go to our college, like the campus,
Mm-hmm.
and they, maybe do some interviews and about like, yeah, are you interested in working in this place and this place? But
Yeah.
I've never seen their mom.
That exactly.
Never seen their mom or like their
Ooh,
dad speaking
ooh,
for them. Like this is the first time I've ever heard of this story.
I
This is
know.
crazy.
I even for me when I was applying for like part-times when I was in
Mhm.
high school, I
Mhm.
never in my like mind, I never thought like I should bring my mom with me. I should bring my dad with me to an interview. Like who does that? Like, hey mom, can you like sit right next to me and then answer when I can't? Like, who in the world? Like that's why I guess like even with context, the title pretty much just summarize the story. So whatever our verdict was before we started reading this, it's pretty much the same.
Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. Wow.
Not the asshole. Because
Oh.
I think the only exception,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's only acceptable if you bring your mom or your dad
Mm-hmm.
to an interview is that if you're under the age of, let's say, the age of 11.
Oh yeah, 100%.
If you're under the age of 11 and you're like auditioning for, I don't know, some kind of TV show, then I
Yeah,
guess it's okay to bring your
yeah,
mom or your dad to the interview.
like a guardian,
This is, yeah,
like an actual adult supervision because you actually need
yeah,
one. But
yeah.
a college student for an engineering job, like
No.
no. Uh-uh.
I was gonna say that because I don't think I see the guy mentioned in the story that the student, like the college student, trying to
Mhm.
stop their mom.
That
So
too,
I
huh?
was I was wondering if they got used to it as like, some people just like being a mama boy. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's, you do you, that's okay if you think it's okay. But for
Yeah.
me, it's a little bit weird.
Mhm, mhm. I agree. It's also like it's one thing I don't know to be like a mama's boy or whatever, but in a professional setting, it's not like you're going to
Mhm.
expect your mom to be with you when you start a job, like at like an actual office. It's like uh a
Yeah.
good point as well that you pointed out. It was like they did not stop the mom. Like for me, whenever I'm on a call with someone or an interview, like over the phone or through Zoom, I let everyone know. It's like I'm talking to someone. Do not talk to me within this like time frame. Do not like disturb me
Exactly.
because like this is something important and like I'm supposed to be professional. You know, it's like I need my space, and then once I'm done, then I'll let you guys know like that I'm done. Then you can reach out to me, or if it's an emergency, message me. You don't gotta like pop out and say hi. What you doing?
Normal for it, I think that's what normal people do.
Yeah,
But for this guy,
I
I
think
mean
it's
for the
different.
student, like I don't really know. Like I feel as a college student,
Mhm.
I would feel very embarrassed
Mhm,
if my
mhm.
mom or my dad trying to like, jump into an interview.
Yeah.
I would stop them. I was like,
Yeah.
"What are you doing? Go home."
It's like, yeah, I mean, like what
Um,
you said, like I feel like that would be what normal people would do. It's just like, if
mm,
anything, it was like, you'd probably kind of like ask for a minute during an interview. It's like, I'm sorry, like give me 1 second, mute yourself, and then talk to your parents. Like, hey, can I have my space? But again, I feel like
but
what you said was right. He's probably like used to this kind of like
yeah,
situation.
this behavior,
Mhm, mhm.
did you know that I don't know if you see it, if you ever seen it, like
Mhm.
in your place, but some Asian mom, like
Oh
Asian
yeah,
parents, they tend to do that.
they do. Yeah, I've seen it.
They do. Like some Asian mom, they'll be like, you know the type of mom
I
that
know.
is not that's not like, well, the type of mom that who is not like, who want to give you space when you request it, when you need it. They will
Yeah.
keep pushing. They
Yes.
keep pushing, and like if you don't listen to them, or if you don't give them what they want,
Eh,
and they keep pushing, and then they get upset about it.
They do. They really do.
Like, I've seen some Asian mom that they baby their
Oh my
child.
God,
Like,
yes.
they actually baby their
They really
child
do.
when the child is like 20 something.
They really do. It's like
Mm-hmm.
there's two types of like Asian parents. Those who are
Uh-huh.
ruthless to their kids and those who are like those who really baby their kids. And, like there's that. You can get like there's two options. You get
There's no in
yeah,
between.
there's no
So
in between.
it's like the highest or the lowest. There's no in between.
But like the thing is like the highest point where they baby them, it can get to excessive as well. Kind of like this
Mm-hmm.
situation where it's
Mm-hmm.
almost like they can't do like I mean their kids can't do anything without their parents doing something for them. You know what I mean? But so
Mm-hmm.
oh I've seen so many of those that I can't talk about it because you know.
I feel like I'm scared of the mom more than I'm scared of the child.
Exactly.
If I ever met someone like that, I feel like I'm scared of the mom more than like,
Eh,
there must be something very very like weird in their brain to think that they can baby their child even if
yeah.
they're,
Like
you know.
oh, it's also kind of sad because it feels like the kids don't even have a say or like a voice for themselves because it's always like
Yeah.
mom, mom. It's
No
like
private
that.
space.
Yeah, and
No
it's
private
sad.
space. Your
Oh
mom knows everything.
yeah.
I think my
Oh.
mom is also like one of the type, but she is not as pushy.
Mhm.
Cause, cause, cause once there was one time she actually pushed me, and I aggressively pushed her back,
Oh dang. She
and
she
like,
was like right
and
back at
I
you.
guess, yeah, cause ever since then, I think she kind of got the lesson, and then she
Mhm.
stopped pushing me and just leave me alone when I requested.
Yeah.
But like, before the time, like, that was, it was pretty bad. You know, the type of mother that's like, it's always like mother knows best.
Yes. Yes.
Is all they always like,
Yeah.
mother knows best, and if you don't listen to me, you'll regret it later. Like, she would keep pushing.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
She would she would keep pushing until I act on, like, as she requests,
Mhm.
or like I aggressively push her back and just be like, just leave me alone, and then she would, you know,
Yeah.
leave me alone. But then, yeah, it was my story though. I digress a little bit. Sorry.
No, no, it's okay. That's fine. It's like
I said,
there are. I feel like with those type of like
mm-hmm,
moms, I hope this is just in my head. I hope that the kid, the college, the student, at one point kind of like stands up for himself because
mm-hmm,
I do agree with OP saying that this could actually hurt you then kind of like do you more good, like
mm-hmm,
her doing
mm-hmm.
this is not going to help you out.
She is the actual boss in the
Yeah,
game.
it's insane because like
She,
I like the whole like her being an interview is like because that's what the OP like the title says like oh her being an interview cost him the job. That's one thing, but what's crazier is her kind of like bothering spamming this the
mhm.
OP with messages and calls after the fact that the son did not get the job. Like you cannot do that to people. You can't just like
Exactly. Your
it,
son is not, the
mm.
best. The best. Sometimes you gotta accept that.
Yeah.
Some mothers is like, my son is the best, but actually
Yeah.
it's not.
There's n- there's so many people in this world. Like, girl, we're no one's that special. I'm sorry, lady, but Just pointing out that I kind of feel bad because he could be probably like good at the job, but her kind of, and
Mhm.
she's kind of like sabotaging her son by her like
Exactly.
actions.
Sabotaging.
Mm-hmm. Just gonna read a few comments and then we'll have Yenny read us another story. The first
Mhm.
comment would be not the asshole. Whoa, shocker. not not the asshole. It's probably better for the kid to you. Oh, I'm sorry. It's probably better for the kid. Oh, I think they worded this wrong. I think they wanted to say that it's
Mhm.
probably better for you to tell the kid instead of um the mom. Seeing as she clearly does not respect him enough to believe him if he disclosed she cost him the job. She snapped at you because she gave her feedback that painted her in a poor light and she thought she did her son a wonderful favor. You're probably the first person in a while to stand up to her. I agree. OP kind of replied to that. Oh, I don't know. Did OP reply to that? Where is OP? OP? Hello? Just reading a second comment. Okay. Not the asshole. She needs to be told. Maybe her son has told her or not, but someone outside her bubble needs to be told. I say this as someone who was in her son's shoes. My dad would do the same stupid stuff. Oh, dang, I'm sorry. He would he would call about interviews and job applications. He used to call out of work for me if I sneezed on the phone or if he wanted to punish me or anything really. He'd call and say I wasn't coming in and do other stuff that would intentionally or not sabotage my work.
Oh
That's
no, that's very
insane. It's
bad. That's
bad.
yeah.
I used to sneak around when applying for job interviews and internships just so he wouldn't mess it up. I long ago developed a policy of excluding both my parents from job stuff. My dad because he'd still do it no matter what, and my mom because she will tell him anything I tell her. I'm in my 30s now, and they still can't know anything about my jobs. Thank you for telling the mom, and please consider also telling the son. Insane. I can't believe there's another person. I'm pretty sure it happens a lot, but like reading like actual stories of people going through it, it's like, wow, wow.
Wow. Wow.
That's all I can say. Wow. Oh God.
Wow. The guy who interviewed the person, like the guy, the OP, but I feel like it's not his job to address like the problem within their family.
Yeah.
I mean, he did a good job of letting them know
Yeah, yeah.
that this position is, it's we're not hiring this position anymore, and
Yeah.
we will reach out once we, like
Yeah.
they did a good job at telling them like in professionally,
Professional. Yeah.
but I don't think it's his job to like interfere in their, family business or personal
Oh
business.
yeah.
It's actually the kid's job to stand
Mhm.
up for themselves. So not
Yeah.
the asshole,
Not the asshole. He did what he could and he did a great job. So not the asshole. All
not the
right. Well,
asshole.
that was an interesting story. Um all right, we're moving on to our fourth story. Well,
The
I'm
fourth
ready.
story. Wow, this one is also a crazy story. Like,
Yeah.
what the title is
Yeah.
us.
I'm looking at it.
This is crazy. Okay, I'll start.
Mhm.
Coworker tried to kiss me at work. The title pretty much says it. I work in an office in which I am the only female out of 50 males. I share an office with two guys, and I've been working here for about a month now. Yesterday, about 5 minutes before I was going to leave for the day, I was standing at my desk, and out of nowhere, the guy who has been training me walked over to me, grabbed my
Oh,
waist, holy gee,
oh.
and face, and trying to kiss me. I turned away, said no, and moved away from him, and he said, "You're right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." Um, I felt myself fawning and trying to make him feel better about his action, which is an interesting reaction to me because I didn't make that situation happen. So why am I taking ownership? Anyway, just wanted to vent a little bit. I'm not sure what steps I should take at this point, and now I'm just plain uncomfortable. Thanks for reading.
Oh, wow.
Update.
Uh, there's an update.
I have decided that reporting the incident to my supervisor is necessary. I plan to report on Monday. There is a new girl who is supposed to start training with him on the 15th, and I can't, in good conscience, say nothing since they will be alone in the office together for hours, days at a time since I don't work Fridays.
Ugh.
And I don't come in until noon.
Oof.
I am fearful of how uncomfortable my work environment is going to be after all of this, and I fear retaliation from my counterparts.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to do what's right for me and for any women who are hired in the future. Any advice on or words of wisdom are welcome. Update 2.
Ugh.
Thank you so much for all the words of encouragement, advice, and support. I appreciate all of it.
Mhm.
I decided not to wait until tomorrow. I sent an email to our bosses outlining what happened, my response, my future concerns, etc. I have yet to receive a response, but I will update as the situation progresses.
Okay. Ugh.
Update.
Update. Another one.
Update. I was notified that he was fired.
Let's
I feel
go.
supported by my company and couldn't have asked for a more comforting outcome.
Oh my God. Thank God.
Thank God.
I was losing all my oxygen
Not the
while
happy ending
listening.
story.
That was a happy ending, but that was insane. Like
Exactly.
just a title with a coworker try to kiss me at work. Awesome. What a normal day at work.
This is sexual harassment, no?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. This is like sexual harassment. This is not okay. This is probably like obviously it's so obvious this is not okay.
It's not. Like even like the
No.
first this first sentence, it was like, I am the only female out of 50 males. I'm like, oh,
Oh,
oh. I was like, oh no, I don't feel good about that. Oh God. If you're in your right mind, you wouldn't have done that in the first place. You grabbed her
yeah.
waist, tried to kiss her. You wouldn't those are like actions that you needed to actually like think before doing them.
And
Like, wow. Oh my
I don't
God.
know, like, cause since I'm not a guy, like I don't know what's going on inside their head,
Mm-hmm.
make them act like that. But there was this one time, like I think I watched a movie
Mm-hmm.
about like it's a movie about something else, but it has a scene there where this guy he's like obsessed.
Oh.
He but they also were in the office, right?
Uh-huh.
And there's a guy like he seems like a normal guy. He's a type of guy that like that blends into the background, you know.
Okay.
You don't yeah, you don't
He's one of the
uh,
NPCs.
you don't notice him. But then like they did an episode where they just focus on the guy like and his
Oh.
inner thoughts
Oh.
and like there is a lot of weird things going inside his head. I'm not sure if it's the same case about IRL.
Okay.
Like, he's just like, well, this girl, like, she walked over to give me this file, and I look at her hand, and she's kind of touching me.
Oh.
She's basically just giving you the file, and you like taking the file, so like their fingers is kind of
Oh
brushed,
my
I guess.
God.
I know
Uh-huh.
it's just like it's nothing, right? So he's
Oh.
like, "Oh my god!" Like she's kind of touching me. I knew it. She was planning this in the first place. She's trying to touch me.
Oh my
I know
God.
that she's like, like having a crush on me or something like that. It's very, very weird.
Making
It's like,
so like
yeah,
stories inside his head. Yeah.
yeah. It's so uncomfortable watching that episode. Like, what the fuck?
It's almost like I don't know if you've already watched the Netflix series You,
Oh, I don't know that
but
series. What is it about?
it's like he's like a stalker where he's
Oh,
like every like little things he would make it
mhm.
into he would turn it into something big. like, oh, like she's looking at me, that means she wants me. It's like turning some
Exactly. Like
it's kind
that's
of like
so
that.
yeah.
It's like, oh, we made eye contact, and that means she probably wants to talk to me, and then we'll talk about it's like escalating little things into something that's not even a thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That the movie I watched is also about that.
Oh my
As
God.
I we make eye contact, she must be thinking how she's gonna, flirt with me or something,
If you
something like that.
remember the title, like send it to me. I want to watch it. I want to get creeped out. I want to ruin my day.
Yeah. I mean, it's so creepy.
It
Like
is.
it's perverted and it's creepy. I
Yeah.
don't know how to like explain it.
I I
I also don't yeah.
I know what you mean. I actually was looking for this one Reddit story that is also
Mhm.
about work. It's kind of like that, but this is an actual like Reddit story. So it's not a movie. It's not a Netflix series. It's like an actual thing.
Oh my
Maybe the
god.
next time we like do this, because I need to look for
Mhm.
it because that one is insane. Like I want to hear your like thoughts and honestly your reactions to it because it's so insane. We'll talk about it next time. But whoa, my
Okay.
God, the story
I
though.
see.
Oh my God, I'm just glad that he was fired. That's like the
Yeah.
best thing that could ever happen.
Best scenario that could ever
Yeah.
happen.
Honestly, double E for this for OP because she's like, oh, there's another like there's gonna be a new girl that's gonna get trained and I don't know, like I kind of don't want anything would
Yes.
say the same thing happening to her because like she's gonna be training. I mean, the new girl is gonna be training with that guy. I like her. She's a girl's girl.
Looking out for other
So
girls. Yes, I love it.
from the updates, we already know that OP did reach out to HR and then reported it. But comments just basically says, okay, you need to report first because if he goes home and decides that your rejection of his advances or somehow a massive blow to his ego, he could say that you made an advance at him. Oh my God, that's so true. Because guys
Oh
do
my
that,
god.
huh? They're like,
Wait. People can do that?
yeah, people do that.
Holy
People do that.
shit.
Like a lot of guys, when kind of like they get rejected or something, they would be like, "Well, you shouldn't have." Kind of like it's like the movie that you said. You shouldn't have made eye contact with me. Then you, you know the
So they
you
get
know those
revenge.
things. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. um, last comment before we move on to our last story. Contact HR and make sure to explain why you fawned over him afterward, that you did what you could to defuse the situation and safely get away. You don't want him spreading the rumor that you want him, that you fawned all over him once he assaulted you. He might even decide to go to HR and put the blame on you. Um, insane. But if he's so brazen to do that,
Wow.
he's probably done it before and gotten away with it. But yeah, there's a lot of situation where they'd be like, then why didn't you react really negatively? Or they would just put the blame on the person they kind of
Okay.
like harass. It's like you can't do that just because you got rejected.
I feel like I feel like I'm the type of person that I wouldn't be afraid to speak out
Mm-hmm,
about some people's behavior.
mm-hmm.
For example, in this situation, I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be afraid to speak out, but I understand that some girls or other females, they are afraid to speak out
Yeah,
because maybe they are afraid.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
they
a
just
valid
I
like feeling.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's about they are
Right.
afraid that something might happen to them,
Yeah.
or like they just afraid to speak out. So
And
I understand they are afraid to speak out, but I'm very glad that she has finally come to like her
yeah.
decision to speak out and then get that guy fired.
Yeah.
Ah, that's right.
That's honestly, I'm just like first things first, I'm happy that she's safe and that that
Mhm,
guy got fired and HR did their thing. Because I honestly, okay,
mhm.
no context. I don't think there's like context in this story. where
Mhm.
like which country they did this, but there's a lot of stories, especially here in the States, where HR or people on the higher ups kind of like question the victims. It's like, are you sure?
Mhm.
And that's kind of like, I guess, sometimes that's one of the reasons why people are, I guess, scared to speak up, because like they're not sure if there's someone who's actually gonna listen. Because like a lot of the times people would
Oh.
speak up and then they'll be like, no, it's fine. Like HR would be like, it's
Oh,
okay.
no.
And yeah,
No.
it's so bad. It's so bad. And then people, like the person who you reported, like found out that you reported them, and then they would act very negatively towards you, and it would just make your like life like a living hell. You have to like move to a different job because like this happened. But yeah, I'm just
Wow.
glad that like HR did their thing, because some HRs out there are questionable.
I feel like you experience more stuff than me. These are the crazy stories.
And these are crazy stories. Like, okay, I'm gonna talk about my experience. This is not in any way at a workplace, but kind of worse,
Mhm.
because this was when I was in high school,
Oh
and
my god.
and I was friends with this guy through a mutual like friend. He was chill, like nothing. We were friends. I was treating him like a friend. I'm nice to everyone. You're nice to me, I'm nice to you. Um,
Yeah.
so we have a class where he's the only person I know. So naturally, I was like, okay, I'm gonna hang out with him because like I know him, and he did started doing like kind of like like physically kind of like touching, like nothing, like he you know the deal. But I reported this to one teacher, who's the first teacher that I told to, like, hey, this happened and I'm not really comfortable. I was telling, it's not like I didn't do anything about it. When this guy was doing it, I kept, like, every day I would say, no, no, don't touch me. Like, I was very vocal. It's not like I wasn't doing anything.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
um, I told this to one of my favorite teachers, like, hey, maybe you can help me, like, talk to our supervisor for that class. And then I told her, and then she was like, well, he's not really like, he kind of like justifying the guy's act.
Ah.
And then
I know the type of teacher.
and
Yeah.
and then
Continue.
but then she still kind of like did help me talk to the supervisor in that class. And that guy, that teacher was a man. Was a man.
Uh-huh.
And then he's like, well, maybe she shouldn't like sit right next to him. It's not like there's assigned seats, like she can just move. The problem
What
is,
the
yeah, like the problem is I can move, but that also means that he can move and follow me, like wherever I see, like
exactly? What is the
wherever.
point of that argument?
I was like, wherever I sit
What?
down, he can just like follow me, sit right next to me, and do the same thing. So it's like that kind of like situation with like, wow, like I spoke up and they didn't do anything about it. So it's like I couldn't really. But then the guy got upset that I told like the teachers, so he kind of like started getting mad
Uh-huh.
at me, and I'm like, what do you expect me to do? But yeah, that's just one of the
So
situations.
that one,
Yeah.
yeah, that one backfired.
Yeah, it's like one
Yeah,
of the
I'm sorry.
situations where it's like you have to be really careful on who you trust. 'Cause, like, dang, like these are adults. These are teachers that I was expecting that, okay, they're gonna help me. But none of them, and none of them did. So, but I mean, even after that kind of like situation, I'm still 100% for kind of like, I will speak up. I will say something, and I'll just make sure that I'll be heard by people who will actually listen. Again, like what you said, I respect the people who are kind of like are scared, because it is a valid like feeling to sometimes be afraid of like speaking up. But yeah.
I feel like you always have to have someone you trust in
Mm-hmm.
life. It
Mm-hmm.
can be like either your family or your friend or
Mm-hmm.
like your sister or your brother or someone you actually like someone you know they're good people and you trust them.
Yeah.
If you're afraid in speaking up, you
Yeah.
can always get confine them and talk to them first.
Yeah.
And then you guys can also discuss the situation and who you should speak up to.
Yeah.
Because I feel like in your situation, I'm so sorry that happened to
All
you.
good. It's okay. It's
No,
okay.
yeah, it's like I feel like yeah, because we are also very young at the point,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so all we can do is I feel like because
How?
as a student, there's nothing actual can protect us. Like if
Mm-hmm.
we're adults and we like, go to work and we in a work environment, we have the law protects us.
Yeah.
But as students, especially minors, we like I feel like there's not actually anything that could protect us. Even we have teachers or
Yeah.
like parents,
Mm-hmm.
but they can't be with us like 24/7.
7.
They don't
Yeah.
know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe some teachers they just decide to be assholes.
Real.
And
Am
that's
I the asshole?
actually not
Yes.
a yeah.
It's
That's,
insane.
yeah.
But I honestly wish not just girls, but anyone to hopefully they won't
Mhm.
have to go through something like that. And not wishing anything bad, but hopefully you guys have your like trusted person that you can, speak to or talk to about the situation. And yeah, make sure that those bitches get, they get consequences. They get away too easily. Yeah.
Get what they deserve.
hmm All right. We're moving on to our
Yay.
last story.
Yes.
Are you ready? Okay, this one, I
Yes.
believe this one is gonna be a long one. All right. All right, last
I'm
story.
ready.
Am I the asshole for reporting my boss after he forced me to attend a meeting despite knowing I was in labor?
Wow.
Amazing. Amazing boss. 10 out of 10. Woo. All right. I, 28 female, have been working at my company for 5 years, and until recently, I loved my job. I was 8 months pregnant when this happened about a month ago. So I started having contractions while at work. Since I was not due yet, I thought it was just Braxton's Hicks because they weren't that intense.
Oh my god.
Just a week before that, I had experienced Braxton Hicks. Okay, I have lists. Braxton Hicks is making me and went to the hospital, but it was a false alarm. This time, I was still working when the contractions started in the morning, and again, thought it was just Braxton Hicks. I didn't want to cause a scene, so I tried to keep working. Last time I went to the hospital, my boss, let's call him John, 45
Mm.
male, made a sarcastic comments about me being overly dramatic and joked about how I should schedule my labor about sorry, I couldn't contain my emotion. How I should schedule my labor
Okay.
around important meetings. I have social anxiety and tend to take people's crap without pushing back, so I just took it. By noon, the contractions were getting stronger and closer together, and I knew it was real labor. I needed to go to the
Oh my
hospital.
god.
I informed John that I was in labor and needed to leave. He rolled his eyes and said, "Just stay for the meeting at 1 p.m. It's crucial and we need you there." I
What the
was stunned. I reiterated that I was in active labor and needed to go to the hospital immediately. John snapped back. "It's just a meeting. Sit through it and then you can go. It's not like the baby is going to pop out right now." Feeling
what the
pressured, feeling pressured and scared for my job, I reluctantly stayed. Early. All right, let me breathe. The meeting lasted an excruciating 2 hours. By the end of it, I was in so much pain that I could barely walk. I finally left and drove myself to the hospital, where I admitted immediately. My husband reached 30 to 40 minutes later because he was on the other side of the town for a meeting. My daughter was born later that evening, thankfully healthy despite the delay. When I told my husband what had happened, he was furious and insisted we report John to HR. I was hesitant because I didn't want to jeopardize my job, but I agreed it was the right thing to do. HR was appalled and assured me they would handle the situation. John has since been suspended pending an investigation. The real kicker? Investigation? The real kicker? During the investigation, it came out that John had emailed the entire office while I was in labor, complaining about my lack of commitment and making fun of me for overreacting. He even implied that I was using my pregnancy as an excuse to get out of work. Now, my coworkers are pissed at me, saying I overreacted and that I should have just sucked it up for the sake of the company. Hello? Okay.
What the heck is going on?
I've even
This is unreal.
I know.
You can't tell me this is a real story. This is unreal.
I hope that this is because you know how some stories are fake. I hope this one is fake, but okay.
Yeah.
All right. I've even received messages and emails from a few colleagues saying that I've ruined John's career and that he was just doing his job under pressure. One even said that I should just tough it out like their wife did during her pregnancy. The stress from this horror ordeal has made it difficult to enjoy my first few days with my newborn. I'm constantly second-guessing myself and feeling guilty, despite knowing I did what was best for my baby and me. To make matters worse, the interim manager who took over from John is even worse. No! Oh.
What the?
All right. He's made it clear to everyone that he resents my actions and has made my return to work unbearable. Now that my maternity leave is over, I find myself isolated at work. People give me side eyes and whispers about me, and during lunch, I'm alone because no one wants to sit with the troublemaker. It feels like high school all over again. I dread going into work each day and facing the hostility and judgment. I never imagined that doing what was right for my health and my baby's well-being would turn my colleagues against me like this. It's gut-wrenching to feel so isolated and vilified for simply standing up for myself and my rights. I cry most of the time when I come home, and sometimes even in the office washroom when someone passes a comment. No, I feel so bad. All right, I need to finish this. In the worst moments, I get mad at my husband and blame him for making me tell HR, even though I know he did the right thing. He's so sweet and never takes it to heart. I apologize soon after, but he always says he wasn't even mad and that he understands how I'm feeling, especially since I'm just 1 month postpartum. He says I should take action and complain, but I don't want to make things worse. He's also saying he can't see me like this and that I should just quit because it's hurting him. I don't know what to do. I'm just such a sensitive and emotional person in general, and now it's been worse since giving birth. Am I the asshole for reporting my boss after he forced me to attend a meeting despite knowing I was in labor? No.
No. What the hell? You can't tell me this is a true story.
Oh, please.
No one acts like that. Especially, no, this is crazy.
I want to look for like updates or any other comments from OP just to
Yeah.
make sure this
Is there any other?
Oh, okay. So there's no comments from OP and there's no other posts from OP. I'm just in my
Wait.
heart, I will just hope that this is a fake story because, you know, like the lack of like updates and comments. It's like some people ask questions in like the comments like, hey, what was this and that? I feel like the lack of comment and not even a post from OP, I would just hope that this is a fake one. But if it's not, my heart goes out to her. This is so sad. Oh God.
Okay, first of all, I want to say it's 10 out of 10 for the husband. The husband is doing amazing. 10 out of 10 for him.
10 out of 10.
Like, yeah, I give him both of my hand thumbs up.
Yes.
And second of all, I can't, like, it's hard to me for imagine because I feel like I was in a toxic environment once in my life, like a toxic work environment, and I quit after 2 weeks.
Real. Honestly, it's late.
So, like, it's very hard for me to imagine someone who can endure that much of toxicity when it's like, how do I explain it? I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm a
Take your
loss
time.
for words.
I know,
Sometimes it's
same.
like
I said, I
lost for
needed to
words.
breathe after reading that. Like, oh,
How do you? I just don't understand. How can she endure that much toxicity without thinking about quitting? Because any person in their right mind will know that this is not her fault.
yeah.
This is not her fault, and the environment is like deluxing.
Oh my God.
The toxic at the deluxe level. It's not like super level. It's like the deluxe level. So I don't know how she can endure all of that premium level. Exactly. I don't know how she can endure all of that. That is crazy. Even if you needed the money.
I think I honestly don't know what type of like workplace this is, but I just hope that like she can look for a new job because I just hope I don't think no one deserves this. Like not OP, not anyone. The fact that she's going through labor, it's like just sit through the meeting. It's not like your baby's gonna come out of you right now, and it's 2 hours. Contractions. I've never been pregnant before, but I know, and I've heard people who like have given birth, like it hurts like hell, and having to like sit through like to a meeting, that means she have to work while feeling all that pain, probably like taking notes and like like interacting with people in the meeting while in labor. Like that's so much. Like
how does maternity leave like work
what
in
happened?
your place?
I work in a lot of like really healthy like work environments, like places are like maternity leave. Take it. The last job that I had, the one before this one, it was like 6 months. I think paid leave, like or three to 6 months. It's like it's good. That's why I'm like, even I don't know, like, is it just me? Like I don't know this like mindset, but like if any of my coworkers, they was like, oh my God, I'm giving birth. I'm like, oh my God, you need to leave. You have to leave. You have to leave.
Exactly.
Like that's
You have to leave.
That's in the initial reaction that all of those people should like have. And I'm also scared. I don't want to assume anything, but like, are these people mainly like male coworkers? Because how like I feel like no woman would
No female
yeah
would ever do that.
like for us we have
Because
to deal with like period, like even going to work with like period cramps and stuff, like it's already painful. Giving birth.
because I feel like if you're a female, there is no way you would ever do that.
Yeah.
So I was like doubting the credulity of the story,
Yeah.
but from what I've seen, I think because well, from what she is saying that she gave birth and then she has a family and the husband is also working. So I assume that they're not in a tough spot financially.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay for she just to like, just to quit and find another environment that is actually healthy.
Yeah.
I don't even if you like even if you needed the money that much, this is not
This
worth
not
your
worth
mental
it.
health.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah, it's really not. Like
Mm-hmm.
everyone's like isolating her. She is going
It feels
to,
like high school.
yeah, that's what she said. And like her going to postpartum too. That's like her hormones are probably like all over the place, and then she have to go
Oh my
through
God.
that when she's working. It's not it's not cool. It's not. I don't even know if this is in the state. I don't. This
Yeah,
feels illegal.
postpartum is bad.
It's bad.
Postpartum is actually like insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Even the fact that she said I had to drive myself to the hospital. I was like, girly,
What? Yeah,
what?
I said, what that for?
She was like,
And
like, I was like, this is a roller coaster story.
I feel like the people say that you ruined John's career. I'll be so fucking for real with you right now. John's career isn't worth that much,
Yeah.
to be
I'm
honest.
sorry. Oh shit, I punched my mouth. But it's true. He did that to himself. Our girlie
Yeah.
did not do anything. She just gave birth. That's it. Like, she's too nice for even like staying. If it was me, I was like, I don't care. I'm gonna go to the hospital and give birth. Like, I don't know. I feel like this is illegal. Like, I feel like she
Yeah.
could even press charges. Like, that's
Mhm.
insane. Like, that could actually hurt, like, actually jeopardize her, like, her pregnancy and even affect her
Mhm.
health, like, really badly.
I
Oh,
Because this is so surreal for me because like what there was my manager at work is actually like a year younger than me.
oh shit.
like like she's very kind, she's very sweet. And there
Mm-hmm.
was this one time I used my annual leave to like go to the hospital. And
Okay.
like the next day came and she's like, "Oh my god, are you
Are you okay?
okay?"
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" And we're like, that is just, and I'm not, I'm not giving birth or anything. I just go to the hospital for a checkup,
Yeah.
and that I feel like that is how people normally act. Like
Yeah.
this is how people are supposed to react.
Yeah.
This is just
Humane.
weird for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh my God. Like I could read the comments for days, like, not the asshole, your boss is a complete and utter disgrace. Forcing you to stay during labor is not just unethical, it's potentially criminal. You did the right thing by reporting him. Your health and your baby's health come first. Your coworkers who are siding with him clearly have no empathy or understanding of basic human decency. You deserve to work in an environment where you are respected and treated with dignity, not bullied and coerced into putting your life at risk. Yeah, she could, like,
Mhm.
birth is like a lot of things can happen. It's not just like, oh, baby's out, that's
Yeah.
it. It's
Even if you
not
lose
like
a job,
that. Mm-hmm.
I feel like even if you lose a job, it's not worth
Oh
it
yeah,
to like
100%.
putting your life on the
Mm-hmm.
line. You
Because
can always have another job,
yeah,
but it's really hard to have another baby.
in life she could,
It's just not worth
yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm. Like, oh, it's the one of the situation where it's like, this
Oh,
place, if you disappear, they can always just find a new person. Like, you gotta put yourself first. You can always you have
exactly.
to put yourself first, because it's not like the world is going to stop if you disappear, you know.
Exactly.
Mm-mm.
Remember, everyone,
Remember.
it's not wise to give up your life for capitalism.
Yes,
Don't do
facts.
that.
Yenny speaking facts,
Never do
100%.
it.
Just do your job, nothing more, nothing less. Just do it and then put yourself first. That's it. Oh
Yes.
my God. So that's the end of our shift. Yenny, thank you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I had so much fun having you here today. Very chaotic. and mind-blowing. Where can we find you?
Thank you so much for having
Thank
me. First of
you.
all, I also enjoy spending time with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually never participate in any collabs or anything like this, so this is very special for me because this is the first time.
Well, I'm happy to have you.
You are so my first.
You're my first too.
Oh my god. Anyway, my Twitch is Yenny_knee,
Mm-hmm.
or I think you can just search Yenny in pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My Twitter is also Yenny_knee with double I.
Yeah, I'll make sure to have the links down below so you can guys can follow her. She's an amazing person. She does a really good song covers. She has a wonderful voice. She plays a
Oh
lot
my
of
god.
games. You're awesome, Yenny. Don't even.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And for you guys, for everyone watching, which of these stories made you want to call HR? Drop it in the comments below, and we'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Thank you again for joining me, Yenny. I hope you had fun. I had so much fun today.
It's my
See you guys
pleasure.
next time.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.